Right now, I'm in Hawley. So I went down to London. I wasn't actually planning on doing anything else other than going to London. I've got a Sea Life membership, so I wanted to go to like all those places, Madame Tussauds and Sea Life and stuff. I enjoy those places, and my dad wasn't going to go down to see the baby in wherever the baby is, and until well, he wasn't going to go. And then when I did come down, he was like, "Let's go." And I can only get to this place. Basically, it's a really hard location to get to if you don't have a car. I can only get there by car. Really, it's a very long way away. Plus, my sister has a flat in Hawley. Now that she's got the keys, it's taken a very long time. But I thought it makes sense to go down and see it. And then we were going to see the child. But yeah, they have said that I can't. Basically, they told me she's asked them. My sister asked them if I could see the child, and they said no because I might take videos of the child. I mean, that is so lame. Just to say that you can't see a child because as an auntie, you can't take videos of the child. You know what I mean? Not just to say don't take video. You can see the child, but you can't take videos. If you take videos, then you're not going to be allowed to see again. If they said something like that to me, I would feel like they were treating me like a human, but they're not. They just said no. We haven't got permission. It's the weekend. I mean, I think my sister asked yesterday. It doesn't make any sense. You could easily call up so apparently there's two social workers now or something. You could easily call them up to say, "Can Anna see the child?" Or just put it in the notes that yeah, the family can see the child. I'm not going to be coming down for months. I probably won't be coming down again. Definitely not after this experience. I won't be coming down. I mean, I'm glad on one hand because I can, when I go to the courts, I can say that I was going to see the child on this date, and they told me no because they didn't want me to take videos of the child. Rather than just say you can see the child, but you're not allowed to take videos. No, they didn't do that. They said you're not allowed to see the child in case you take the videos. By doing that, they've shown me that they have no trust for me, they have no respect for me, that they don't treat me like a human, they treat me like an animal who can't understand words or can't communicate or can't obey an order, a simple order such as don't take videos. I didn't plan on taking videos, but if I wanted to take a video, I don't see the problem with it. But if they told me not to post it online, then fine. I would respect that. But since they've shown me no respect by saying that they don't want me to see the child because I might take videos, they are only giving me more reasons to insult them. And I'm just feeling really angry over this. I know that I'm Christ. I don't give a shit if they don't believe or not. But things happen for a reason. There's no such thing as right and wrong. There's right in wrong and wrong in right. And I'm thinking, what is the right about this? My higher self obviously has got these people to think that I definitely can't be Christ. Why? Why has she done that? And then I'm just thinking how angry I am. They have no trust for me, but trust works in two ways. So if they have no trust for me, I'm thinking that actually I should have no trust for them. These are supposed to be social workers. They're supposed to be looking after kids and putting them in the right placements. And it's making me wonder, who else are they doing this to do? Whatever they're doing to me, I'm pretty sure they're doing this to a lot of other people. And yeah, if I get famous, that is exactly what I want to do. I want to set up some sort of a YouTube hidden platform where people can send me videos about experiences, a bad experience that they've had with the law or with courts, because the courts are kind of also egging this on. They're the ones who've given all this power to the social workers. The social workers have put this child 6 hours away from me where I don't drive. So they've basically done a lot of, they've put the child in a place where I cannot see the child. They put the child, my mum can't drive either. My dad can drive, but he has very little interest in the child. So, yeah, but it's just, I don't know, things like this. And then saying I can't see the child because I might take videos. I mean, what's wrong with taking videos? I made some, I guess, bad videos before, but that's because they put the child in danger. And I wanted to show that they had put the child in danger, and those videos were helping me prove it. So I've got evidence that was videos that were used to help the child and still will be used to help the child. Okay, it's and the reason why the child's in the placement right now is because of this, and then it also brings to me that Sophie is actually paying £100. Well, apparently, I don't even know if she knew, but apparently she is paying £100 an hour to see her child, her older child, and yeah, whatever, she it is what it is. I think in situations like this, if someone really is deemed dangerous, then yeah, make them pay to see their child is fair because they're a danger. But if they're a danger, then why was she allowed to take this? Why were you allowing her to take this child home? And okay, I'm really glad that we did take the child home because I got to see how good or bad Sophie was with the baby. And it's important for that. There's good and bad and everything, and that's just how it is. But yeah, the social workers banning me from seeing the child because I might make videos about the child, all that's done is given me more reason to make videos about the child, because you've done something that I don't agree with. And as a result of this, I actually want to take it far further, because I have no trust in social services now, and I want to know who else have you done this to? And so I want to set up a forum when I get famous and when people know that I'm Christ. I want there to be a forum where people can come with their complaints. I need to have a video of it, because there's a client I had it a month ago. Okay, I've seen him a few times, and he keeps changing his number, and I keep assuming it's someone different, and then I see him, I'm like, oh dear, yeah, it's you again. He basically treats me as a counsellor. That's a very dangerous job. If you're doing a counselling job and you've got young children in your house, you're going to get all sorts of weirdos come through the house. And yeah, this guy can go on and on and on about how bad the social services are. But then I look at how he is, and the sort of tenseness of him, and the sort of bipolar or whatever it is that he's got. And I see, I can completely understand why why they feel this way, because I feel the same way. I wouldn't want you to be around my child, but you can't tell him that, of course. So, but yeah, there are some circumstances where it's necessary, and you can see why social services are involved. But there's other circumstances, like my case, where you can't understand why social services are pushing you away and saying that you can't see the child. This is like my one opportunity to see the child, and they're saying they can't. Why? Because I might take videos of him. And I'm not a dangerous person. I'm not an overly intense person or a manic person, or I don't have mental illness, and you can see it in my videos. And yeah, so I would love to set up a platform where people that have similar problems or bad experiences with social workers can come to me and report these videos, and then I will expose it. I really expose it. They have built up so much distrust by not letting me see the child because I might take videos of him. I feel like the amount of distrust that I have towards them and their ability to decide, by saying that my mum is a better carer than me, again, you've built up this big distrust. I'm the parents in the world, so for you to think that she would be better than me, what what are you doing? What are you doing? And then for you to think that Sophie is so dangerous to a child that she needs to pay £100 an hour to see a child in a call centre, and yet at the same time you would allow her to take a brand new baby home, to live with my mad mum. It's like what? Clearly social services are effing up, and I want to hear. I've built up. I'm God. I am Christ. I don't care what they think. I've built up a huge amount of hatred for the social services, enough to find out what else is going on. Courts. I don't trust the courts either, because they've said that you're not allowed to talk about social services because it means talking about babies, and you're not allowed to talk about babies and their confidential and their problems. But at the same time, you must. If you think the social services are doing something wrong, you can't just let them continue doing things wrong. You have to change it. And yeah, how they've treated me, I'm going to not take it personally, but I'm going to say rather that's my higher self showing me that actually these people are not trustworthy. They're not doing things right. They're not thinking about the best interest of the long-term future of the child. They're just thinking about the short-term things, the short-term of the child. Keeping the child away from family members, distancing the child from family members who are probably much better carers than the actual mum. That's wrong. And yeah, I want to know how many people they've done this to, and I want to set up some sort of platform where I can hear their stories, and I want revenge. Basically, I want revenge for what they've done to me and this child, and I want to make sure that they're not doing this to other children, forcing them into adoption. Why? Because they first try and get rid of all the family members by telling them that they're useless or telling them that they can't do it. I think also someone who hasn't got children, or someone who doesn't have a child, you could say, oh, they can't do it because they don't have any experience. Or you could see it the other way around. Because they don't have experience, they're going to try a lot harder, and that child is going to mean so much more to them than someone that has a bunch of kids. If someone has a bunch of kids and they don't get an extra child, just one extra child to them, because they do have the experience of having the child. And if someone has gone a long time without having a child, a child means so much more to them. And so to deny them access because of lack of experience, I just think that's so wrong. It needs to be in a video, of course, because like I said, with this client that I saw, he could if he put that all down in a letter, in writing, all the problems that experience, you could feel sorry for him. But then if you actually see him in person and actually see what he's like, you can actually kind of look through his eyes and think, yeah, there's something not quite right there. Hence, I don't actually disagree with all the things that you're saying. So it's better with video because you can actually get a realistic take on what someone's like. I've also noticed I really love this the BB Rex's new song, um, the AI one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really good. But it's got nothing. Well, you would think that it's got nothing to do with chaos. So I would say she's the angel of chaos, and you would say that this has got nothing to do with chaos because in it it's talking about let you bloom, and it's so talking about taking someone, inflating their kind of ego and telling them not to think negatively, and it's a positive song. It is. And in it, it also mentions, you're like my godlike friend and stuff. And I feel like people aren't going to associate that with chaos. I associate that with chaos. Why? Because if you start telling people that, I'm God and, oh yeah, I made you, so you're like me, hence you could be like me one day, on one hand, you're doing something good, you're giving them positivity and ego. But at the same time, they could go a few stages further in this and start thinking that they're better and that they can be gods now, and that will kind of cause chaos. So it will cause chaos in the sort of thinking, and also it's also promoting the AI-ness, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories when it comes to the AI and thinking that AI, artificial intelligence, might start taking over the world and stuff. So, if people thought that God is responsible for AI, and if God hates the world, then maybe AI is actually going to get rid of humans, and they might actually fear AI because of. I don't know how they would feel basically, but I feel like I need to give her a positive name and a negative name. I've given all the angel names, positive and negative names, and well, chaos is technically negative in every way. Hence, I need to change her to probably the angel of fun. There isn't an angel of fun. I would say she's the angel of fun, not because she's actually, well, she is fun. I mean, chaos is fun. Chaos is fun. You have to admit, chaos is fun. But yeah, I think if I was to give her a positive name, it would be angel of fun. When really, I'm thinking actually, actually chaos. But yeah, chaos is fun. So I would just add that.